graceful, relentless, and deadly as her swarm. For your consideration, Titania, the dancing maelstrom. She is the storm in bloom, a blur of wings and razored grace. With a dash, she flits through chaos, with elegance sharpened into blades. Yet even amidst the frenzy, a passive cadence, a breath of calm. No need to nurture them, no need to watch your fuel. Just muse, just play. And as you dance your destruction, your swarm sings in harmony. This is Titania in her garden, unleashed in the bending shadows of her treacherous fury.
Vespula Dex, the dancing maelstrom prefix, Titania. She does not exist alone. She becomes many of steel, eyes and wings of blades and fire. The battlefield is her garden. Enemies a simple weed to be cut away for beauty to blossom. This is not your typical Titania build. Throw away everything that you think you know about the Firefly. She is so much more. Vespula Dex is a comprehensive reimagining of Titania's kit after the latest updates, focused on transforming her into a high-synergy swarm conductor, a fusion of speed, power, and passive devastation. Leveraging hidden mechanics, underutilized augments, and deep interactivity between abilities, exalted weapons, and summon systems, this build weaponizes the entire screen in your favor. Rather than relying solely on firepower or casting loops, this guide embraces drones, passive buffs, and modular scaling, letting Titania fight smart, fast, and without interruption. You can level cap with this build. Sentinel Overview, Jin, Drones, Major Sentinel Mods, Synth Fiber, allows health orb pickup even at full HP, synergizes with Equilibrium for energy gain. Synth Deconstruct, 25% chance for enemies damaged by the Sentinel to drop health orbs, does not apply to duplex clones. Duplex Bond, creates up to 3 duplicate Sentinels, each lasting 30 seconds for 100 energy. Duplicates persist in Razorwing and can use Sentinel weapons. Each has a 50% chance to drop energy orbs on kill. Reinforced Bond, grants Titania 60% fire rate while active. Easily maintained due to Sentinel invulnerability in Razorwing. Contagious Bond, helps outside of Razorwing, but very powerful due to buffs in Verglas. Reawaken, revives the Sentinel when orbs are picked up. Provides overshields on revive, helping maintain reinforced and duplex bond uptime. Animal Instinct, Vacuum, Fired Up, Thumper. Utility, damage, and functional enhancements to Sentinel behavior, weapon effectiveness, and support by showing enemies on the minimap. Synergies and role, Drones Major, refers to the larger cast of warriors and eusocial animals. This part of the build is centered around maintaining a rotating fleet of duplex Sentinels that roam the map, applying an increase in KPM and generating energy orbs. In Razorwing, the main Sentinel remains inactive, while 3 clones are functional, using their equipped weapons and benefiting from companion damage increases. Damage vulnerability from Razorflies, combined with Summoner's Wrath, Full Moon, and the Beguiling Lantern Augment, enables Sentinel weapons to meaningfully contribute even in Steel Path and against Overguard units. To help charge the overshield of the Sentinel, I use Fellarks. Shotguns are ideal for this purpose as reloading grants it overshields, and each shell put in a shotgun will apply the effect. Here is the build if you are curious. Note the presence of Modus setup, which grants 33% knockdown resistance. This is paired with Modus impact on a Parasist for 66% and Power Drift for a 96%. The choice of a polearms is no mere chance, as it can use Boreal's Contempt for the nice bonus of 20% damage reduction while airborne for basically free. Verglas weapon build, Melt Laser mods, Serration Malignant Force Rhyme rounds, Thermite rounds, Split Chamber, Primed Cryo rounds, Primed Bane of Faction Riven, plus 80% magazine capacity, plus 150% multi-shot function, focused on maximizing firing uptime and status chance for priming with multi-shot and magazine size. Viral and heat status synergize to effectively stun enemies, reduce armor via heat, and enhance damage to health via viral. Nearly 100% status chance ensures consistent crowd softening. While incapable of independently defeating Overguard units, it becomes lethal when supported by Titania's ability-based buffs and global debuffs and other sources of damage increases. Titania, Exalted Weapons, Diwata Prime, Drones Minor, Razorflies, Diwata Mod Loadout, Affix Razorflies. Condition Overload. Razorflies fully inherit this effect, gaining increased damage per status effect on targets. Gladiator Might adds critical damage, set bonus non-applicable to Razorflies. Primed Fury increases Razorfly attack speed indirectly via Diwata's swing speed. Primed Smite Faction, essential for multiplicative damage scaling. Double dips with slash procs and stacks multiplicatively with Razorfly's innate 2x damage vulnerability. Organ Shatter boosts crit damage. Sacrificial Steel provides high critical chance. North Wind adds cold for viral. Primed Fever Strike contributes toxin for viral. Arcane melee exposure. On ability cast grants up to 240% corrosive damage. This helps for killing high priority targets which have damage attenuation, like stalkers. It only takes a few hits to down acolytes with this setup, even if it's built towards Razorflies, especially when armor stripped, near a lantern for the damage increase, and while harassed by Razorflies for the vulnerability debuff, they become a 2 to 3 hit kill. Synergies and Roll Drones Minors refers to the smaller cast of caretakers and social animals. This part of the build is centered around passive aerial drones, applying an increase in KPM and debuffing everything that they come into contact with. They are very lethal to softer targets, and even heavy units will be mutilated into puddles by this blender of Fey. Condition Overload is the key enabler. Unlike most melee mods, its effect fully transfers to Razorflies, greatly enhancing their damage per active status. Viral and slash synergy is prioritized. Razorflies apply status and gain massive returns from slash procs, especially when paired with Primed Smite Faction. Slash double dips with faction mods, and is then multiplied again by Razorfly's 2x damage vulnerability on enemies they strike. The minor drones operate as your primary passive damage dealers, scaling upward via Major's drones status priming, Pillage's strip effects, and Beleaguering Lantern's damage increase. Works best when enemies are fully stripped via Pillage, allowing viral plus/plus faction scaling to reach maximum effectiveness on the small EHP pool. Dex Pixia, primary firepower Dex Pixia mod, loadout, gunslinger, significant fire rate boost, enhances responsiveness and kinetic feel of the weapon. Galvanized diffusion, core multi-shot scaling, improves with kills and keeps output high. Lethal Torrent, adds both fire rate and multi-shot, key for sustained DPS. Seeker, adds punch through to hit enemies through corpses, bodies, and terrain clutter. Magnetic Might, supports shield stripping and softens corpus targets. Plays well with viral and fire stacking. Deep Freeze, contributes to viral combo alongside pathogen rounds. Pathogen rounds, viral element, essential for EHP reduction on stripped targets. Primed Heated Charge, heat procs aid in armor reduction when applicable and activates Cascadia Flare. Arcane, Cascadia Flare, on heat status, grants up to plus 480% damage. Triggered by Primed Heated Charge reliably with the high volume of fire. Synergies and Roll. This build arose from extensive testing and process of elimination. While non-meta, its effectiveness lies in how well it capitalizes on Titania's new toolkit, particularly Pillage, Beguiling Lantern, Razorfly's 2x vulnerability, and Arcane Pistolier. Fire rate mods enhance the fluidity and responsiveness of Dex Pixia, creating a satisfying weapon feel that synergizes with her aerial mobility and razor wing speed. You don't need to be precise, and the volume of fire ensures that a lot of shots bloom outwards from your reticule, much like a constant shotgun more than the machine pistols that they are. Cascadia Flare provides a massive damage boost on heat procs, and while unintuitive, it scales accurately and reliably within her kit, freeing an arcane slot and allowing to ditch Serration for some fire rate. Additive with Reinforcement Bond and Lethal Torrent for approximately 200%. Viral and Heat and Magnetic covers all the defenses types. Viral slashes away HP on stripped enemies, while Heat helps armor softening and triggers Cascadia. Magnetic adds coverage for shield-heavy units, leaving only Overguard to overpower with raw damage. This is why we do not use crits here and only rely on pure damage. Seeker is important for keeping target engagement smooth when enemies are clumped, behind bodies, or behind cover, preserving KPM, kills per minute, by preventing stalls is the main role of the Dex Pixias as units that won't die instantly from the drone swarms are taking up their precious time and efficacy away from the rest of softer targets. The build hinges on Arcane Pistolier, on Titania herself, which grants 102% ammo efficiency on headshot kill. Without this, Dex Pixia would chew through its ammo pool instantly and lose all sustained firepower. Summary: while not a traditional or mathematically optimized build, it performs exceptionally due to the interaction of all kit elements, buffs, and new arcane slots being added to exalted weapons. Razorwing's passive agility allows easy targeting, as you simply get closer and don't really take time to aim, and once fully enabled by the integral parts, this build is capable of deleting overguarded enemies and melting armored units. Even on its own, it only takes a bit of focus fire. With full synergy, though, even a glance in the enemy's general direction is enough to clear clusters and hallways, overguard and all. Titania build, Vespula Dex. Vespula is a genus of social wasps. Swift, precise, and dangerous in swarms. This build embodies the same spirit. Aura and Exilus slots. Aura, Summoner's Wrath. Grants 75% companion and summon damage. Synergizes with Razorflies, Sentinel clones, and Dewata damage inheritance. Exilus, Power Drift, plus 15% ability strength and knockdown resistance. Supports power strength thresholds for full strip and damage scaling. We use 2 mods from the Modus set to round out to 96%, freeing primed sure-footed and gaining a bit of much-needed power for full strip with pillage. Main mods: Umbral Intensify, Core Ability Strength, Primed Continuity, minimal duration for utility upkeep, enough to support Tribute and Lantern without hindering cast of Pillage. Equilibrium, converts health orb pickups into energy, enabling synergy with Synth Fiber and Synth Deconstruct. Blind Rage, heavy ability strength at the cost of efficiency, mitigated by Amber Archon Shards and Streamline. Streamline helps offset Blind Rage, keeping energy drain from Razorwing manageable at 5 energy per second. Augur Secrets adds more ability strength, can be replaced if Archon Shards provide enough power strength. Shield gating is cool, but can be offloaded to secondary weapon equipment. Transient Fortitude, boost to ability strength at a minor duration cost, offset by Primed Continuity, Beguiling Lantern, Augment, plus 400% damage taken by enemies affected by Lantern. Arcanes, Arcane Camisado, plus 60% ability strength from summon attacks and plus 20% summon movement speed. Major boost to Razorflies and Duplex Sentinels. Arcane Pistolier, grants 102% ammo efficiency on headshot kill, mandatory to sustain Dex Pixia's ammo economy. Archon Shards, 2 times Red Archon Shards, plus 20%, or ideally plus 30% if Tau Forged, ability strength. Reaching the 340% plus threshold with the 60% from the Arcane allows full armor strip via pillage, which needs 400%. 2x Tau Forged Amber Shards, plus 150% energy orb efficiency. Ensures energy economy even with negative efficiency from mods. 1x Tau Forged Amber Shard, plus 38% casting speed. Greatly improves tribute and pillage animation flow, especially under pressure. Lantern also gets an easier upkeep from the speed increase. Energy economy, duplex bond clones, drop energy orbs, synth fiber, plus equilibrium, convert health into energy, Tau Forged Amber Shards, energy pickup efficiency. Regular casting keeps the orbs flowing and refreshes the swarm. Because the Razorflies created by Tribute no longer despawn as they are immortal, Tribute buffs are no longer needed after a single cast in each instance of Razorwing, allowing discretionary use of energy. Pillage replaces the need for Spellbind due to reliability and function overlap. This streamlines the kit with complete independence from unreliable energy gain mechanics. If enemies dies faster to the swarm, more orbs are generated, and therefore there is no need to rely on the finicky and situationally awkward usage of Spellbing Harvest. Passive heals self and allies in affinity radius for 25 HP per ability cast. Minor but welcome passive healing, naturally triggered due to high casting frequency. Abilities 1, Pillage, Subsumed, primary defensive and offensive tool. With 400% ability strength, this strips all armor and shields. Also generates up to 1,500 overshields, essential for shield gating. The cast time of 2.6 seconds is shorter than the 3.3 seconds shield gate window, ensuring continuous survivability. Also enables the rest of the kit. EHP is greatly diminished while /viral faction mods, Razorflies 2, X vulnerability, and Lantern hit with full raw effectiveness on what little remains. 2. Tribute, massively underestimated. Now only needs to be cast once per use of Razor Wing, unless you want the buffs, which you should need at higher levels, as her Razorflies are not dispelled when the buffs run out, and remain indefinitely active until you come out of Razor Wing again. Buffs granted: Thorns, 50% damage reduction, 70% with Boreal's Contempt set bonus on Polearm's weapon. Dust, 50% enemy accuracy reduction. Each shot has a 50-50 miss chance. It applied globally in the ability range, enhancing the suitability of all allies and Titania. Full Moon, plus 75% damage, plus 50% health and armor to companions and summons. This is additive for a full 150% damage increase on the swarm. Entangle, minus 25% enemy speed. Nice. 3. Lantern, with Beguiling Lantern. Baseline effect. Lifts and distracts a target while drawing nearby enemies. Augment effect, plus 400% increased damage taken by affected enemies within a 30-meter radius. This effect is additive, not true damage vulnerability, but it multiplies cleanly with the rest of the kit, providing a major damage amplification window for Dex Pixia, Daiwata, summons, and allies. Not the fastest grouping ability, but its wide radius and universal application make it a major power multiplier for all of her kit. 4. Razor Wing. Titania's signature form and the core of this build. Grants 50% evasion, a secondary coin flip defense layered on top of Tribute's dust buff. Activates her exalted weapons and Razorflies. Amplifies mobility and lets her stay evasive, airborne, and dangerous. She becomes a swarming maelstrom, tearing across the battlefield as a damage amplifier, direct threat, and support hybrid. Razorflies are enabled to shine with all the mechanics, mods, and buff. With the rest of the kit supporting them, the swarm becomes fully autonomous and devastating. You do not need to sustain them, merely to do your own thing, and that is exactly what they need to be effective. Summary. This kit enables Titania to act as a fast-moving controller, passive DPS amplifier, and active slayer. The build centers around Razor Wing uptime, Pillage for stripping and survivability, Tribute for universal buffs, and Lantern as summon amplifier and force multiplier. Her summons and exalted gear become unleashed, supported by strict stat thresholds, efficient energy management, and rapid execution of high-priority targets. The full power of Titania is unveiled with no blind spots left to cover. No longer bound by clunky ability upkeep or low damage output, she plays as she was always meant to, graceful, relentless, and deadly as her swarm. For your consideration, Titania, the dancing maelstrom. She is the storm in bloom, a blur of wings and razored grace. With a dash, she flits through chaos, a petal riding the hurricane. Teleporting through tension, she closes in with elegance sharpened into blades. High-octane delight, she weaves slaughter like a waltz. Yet even amidst the frenzy, her summoned swarm hums a steady rhythm, a passive cadence, a breath of calm. No need to nurture them, no need to watch your fuel. Just move, just play. And as you dance your destruction, your swarm sings in harmony. This is Titania in her element, unbound, unburdened, beautiful and lethal, all at once.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Closing statement. Thank you for walking this path with me, through steel, through wing, through swarm. Vespula Dex is a love letter to creativity, to mastery, and to those who see the potential in every overlooked detail. Titania has long danced in the margins of the meta, misunderstood and underplayed, but with the right harmony of mechanics and imagination, she becomes something truly transcendent. She is no mere firefly, she is the bladed wasp, the untamed owner of skies. To the Warframe community, thank you for your discoveries, your theory crafting, your builds, your questions, your feedback, and above all, your passion. Without your shared knowledge and spirit, none of this would have taken shape. To every Tenno listening, may your Titania fly true, your razor-wing dance swift, and your enemies never see it coming. She doesn't fight alone, and neither do you, Tenno. See you in the sky. Vespula Dex, signing off.
Share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.